Hi friends, welcome back to our channel Total-QA. In our channel, we already uploaded multiple videos and we have categorized into different playlists here. If you look into this playlist, we have playlists for Selenium WebDriver, Page Object Model, Java, SOAP UI, Selenium Interview Questions, TestNG, Jenkins, GitHub, and also REST API tutorial, CSS tutorial, and also XPath tutorial. In today's video, we are going to discuss about keyword driven framework. In automation, mainly we have totally 4 different frameworks. One is modular, second one is data driven framework, third one is keyword driven, fourth one is hybrid framework. Today we're going to focus mainly on the keyword driven framework. Let's understand why do we need to use keyword driven framework. So if you look into the keyword driven framework, the main objective of the keyword driven framework is to maintain the keywords and associate the functions with each of these keyword. Means once we complete writing the methods, we just map a keyword to a function. Then you create a function library that contains a logic to read this keyword and call the associated action. Okay, so how do you maintain these keywords in the XLSX file? Let's get into that and understand the information. If you look into the example here, I have maintained the information of the test case in the Excel in different columns. If you look into the columns totally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns I maintained, and each and every column has a header, say serial number, description of the test step, action we're going to perform, element reference, reference value, the data we pass for the statement, and the result if we are doing verification to update the Excel with the status as pass or fail. Now let's understand one scenario. If you look into this scenario till this here, if you look into the scenario, it shows that you have to launch the application using this URL and enter username. The ID is the locator, username is the ID value, and the text is admin123. Then enter password, then find element ID, the reference value is password, and you enter data as admin123. Then you select inpatient ward, then you try to provide the ID and the ID value as inpatient ward. You provide null. Why we need to provide null here is whenever you are not passing any parameter value, you have to pass as null. So it means we are trying to convert this entire statement into driver dot find element by dot ID inpatient ward dot click. If you are passing data here, this statement will be converted into driver dot find element by dot ID password dot send keys admin123. So we have written a find element method which is overloaded. It will take 3 parameters in the case of entering the text in the text box, and also we have written one more method which will take 2 parameters which will help us to click on the button. I will show the logic after some time. And also we click on the login button and we validate the message, the login message which is invalid. The reason being why here the username we entered admin123 is a wrong username. So this scenario from step number 1 to step number 6, it will help us to validate the username and password provided which is wrong, returns an error as invalid username or password. So let's try to execute this now manually on the website to get some information. So this is the website I am talking about. Here in the username, I type admin123, which is a wrong username, and I'll type the password which is right, admin123. Then I select inpatient ward here. Then I click on login button. We get an error message, invalid username or password, please try again. So this is the first scenario I have written in the program. Then I written in the Excel. Then afterwards starts from row number 8, but the serial number 7. If you look into this, now we enter username. The username value is admin, which is a valid username. Then we enter password, which is admin123. Then we click on inpatient ward, which is null. It means we are clicking on the button and there is a login button. We are passing null here. Finally, once we log in successful, we get logged in as super user as a response in the UI. Let's do the same thing now. Go back to the browser, navigate to the browser, then just enter admin, which is a valid username, then password admin123, select inpatient ward here, then click on login. You will see the information as logged in as super user. And one more important thing here we have to understand from this framework perspective, we're even verifying the text. Once we verify the text, whether this actual value what we read from the website is matching with this expected value which we maintained in the Excel, we will put the result as either pass or fail of the verification point. It is not only we invoke the functions, in this framework we added a new functionality of how are we going to read the Excel. Not only that, we are going to write to the Excel whenever the verification statement is pass or fail. So this is about high level on how are we maintaining keywords in the Excel. When I say keywords, this entire column we call as keywords column, and each and every keyword launch application, there is an associated method already available in the framework. When I say find element, as I repeated again, previously also I said find element we have hard coded. We are trying to provide two different methods with the same name. We've overloaded. What is the difference here? When you are trying to pass 3 parameters, the find element method with 3 parameters will be called. When I mention 2 parameters, the find element method with 2 parameters will be called. So we have used a polymorphism method overloading concept here to maintain the method with the same name but with different arguments. Okay, so this is about XLSX file, and also if you look into this, the file name is inputdata.xlsx. XLSX, how do we read the XLSX? We always use Apache POI to read the data from the XLSX. And also if you look into the sheet name, the sheet name is end-to-end 001. It's a sheet name. And also if you look into the number of columns, the columns are totally 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 columns are available. And also in XLSX file, the index starts with 0, means this is 0th column, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and keep in mind 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Okay, if you have 7 columns, the index starts with 0, so they are totally 0 to 6. And one more important point is when you consider the parameters here, the parameters are available in the 3rd, 4th, 5th. The parameters are available in the 3rd, 4th, 5th columns. So for an action, for a action, say suppose for example for a find element action, the parameters are ID, username, the admin123. These are all called as parameters for this action. And also suppose if you look into this verified text, this is a action. The parameters are ID and the ID value and the text. So there are parameters, there are actions, and also we maintain the description, serial number also in this Excel. And also here we have rows as well. And keep in mind, we are ignoring the first row when you try to write the framework. Why? Because first row is maintaining the information about the header details of the Excel, header details. So when you try to read the data from the XLSX file, we always starts from the index 1, being the reason being because here in the row 1 we call as index 0. In the index 0 of row 1, this entire header information is available. So we ignore this. We start from row number 1 and try to read all this data. For each and every row, we write a one for loop, go to the first row, second row, third row, and we iterate the columns and try to store the keyword name and the parameters. Then we invoke the method accordingly. Okay, so we'll get into the logic, but before getting into the logic, we should be having an idea about this entire XLSX file. How are we going to read the data from this XLSX file? Okay, so let's get into the framework now. So before getting into the framework also, I will show you how are we categorize this framework. How do you maintain this framework in different classes? I'll give you an overview. So let's get into the overview of this framework. Here, if you look into this framework mainly, I have mainly divided into 3 different classes. This is a driver script. This is an action class where we maintain all the actions like find element, launch browser, verify text. And this is Excel utils, which will help us to read the data from the Excel. You need to navigate to the first row, second row, third row, get all the columns, get the data, the cell data which is stored. We have to get it. So those functions are part of this Excel utils.java, and we always read the data from the XLSX file, and also we even write. That's the reason we represented this in 2 different arrows. Right, up arrow, down arrow, because we read, we write to the Excel. For verify text, we try to write the data to the Excel as pass or fail. Now let's get into the class. What is the content of this class? Let's get into that. So the content of the class is, let me write down the class contents. Mainly the class contents are invoke browser, where you are trying to focus on the browser type and the URL. Right now URL also not required, just mention invoke browser, which will help us to launch the browser, and also it will take care of creation of the driver instance also. And also we maintain one more test case. You can maintain the test case, which what it does is it will try to validate some functionality. Here we are validating the login functionality. Suppose for example validate functionality. Here we call a run method. A run method is called, this run method has different arguments. Argument 1, different arguments. What are these arguments? We maintain the XLSX file name, and we maintain the sheet name. And also one more thing, what we pass is we pass the driver object also while calling this run method. So in the test case, to validate a functionality, we have to call the run method. This run method is part of action class. We create an object of the action class. We invoke, we make this method as static, and we call this run method directly by passing these 3 parameters. Okay, so let's start now. Let me open Excel. I'll show you this class first to understand, then we move further. So this is the driver script. When you select this driver script, I try to right click on this class. I will show you the quick outline of this class. So this class contains one driver object, which is private, and invoke browser, which will take the string, the browser type, the validate login, which will help you to validate the login functionality, and you have a close browser. After you complete the execution of all the test cases, we can close the browser. Let's look into the validate login method. So totally how many methods we have written in the driver script? There are only 3 methods, right? So let's focus on the validate login. When you look into validate login, we have a run method. Okay, we created an object. We didn't mark this as static. We created an object of the action class. We call this run method for using 3 arguments: the driver object, the file name, the sheet name. If you look into this Excel, as I mentioned already, we have a sheet name also we can pass. If like this, you can maintain multiple sheet names and you try to trigger for every test case accordingly. Right now we are maintaining this sheet for test case 1. You can maintain for test case 2 the sheet name end to end underscore test case 002. That's also possible. Now we are going to call this run method, which is part of the action class, by passing 3 parameters. Then we validate the result as true or false to mark this validate login functionality as successful or not. So this is about this class, and also we have after class which will close and quit the browser as well accordingly. So this is about the driver script class. Again, I'll try to show the outline of this class. How can we see the outline of this class? Select the class, right click, say quick outline, which helps us to understand the contents of this class. Okay, now the same thing I have mentioned in the MS Paint as well to get some idea. Now let's look into action class.java. What is the content of action class.java? Let me write it down. The action class contains run method, which takes 3 arguments, as I said, xlsx file name, or we mention here driver is the first argument, xlsx file name, and also sheet name. This is part of this here, right? So let me make it little font wise, will make it full here. Now you have a run method, and also what we said, whenever we call the keyboard, for the set of arguments, we have to call the method. So for that reason, we are using invoke method. We invoke the method using the keyboard and the arguments. What we need for invoke method, we say keyboard, args. When I say args, it will be 2 arguments or 3 arguments. Now we have launch application, one method is there. We have find element, which takes 2 arguments, string 1, string 2, and we have another find element method. We have string 1, string 2, string 3, and we have verify text is also available, which will help you to validate the text. And also let me look into this. I think more or less this is the information which is available in the action class. If you want to add, we can add some more functions in the action class accordingly. Suppose for example, if you wanted to select a value from the drop down, you can write it as select drop down value. So we can keep on adding the functions. These are all reusable functions, but this keyword, if you look into this keyword, this is a keyword which I maintained in the Excel. You cannot change it to lowercase or uppercase. You have to copy the same name of the method name, copy this into the Excel as a keyword. Okay. And one more important thing, what we have implemented as part of this framework is, when you are trying to invoke the method, this is implemented using reflection API, which is part of core Java. So if you look into different frameworks, this invocation of the method will be done using if-else conditional statement or switch case. Then the code will be too lengthy for you to understand, because if you have multiple keywords, you have multiple conditional statements. If you have multiple keywords, you will be having multiple switch case statements. We totally eliminated that entire concept of if-else and switch case. It's totally redesigned now using a reflection API, which will be a standard logic. You can copy this logic into your framework, which will help you to read the keyword and call the required method. So reflection API is implemented as part of this framework. I will explain you. I will try to put a breakpoint, okay, and debug the logic to explain this framework very well. Now, once we complete action class, I think we'll be having one or two methods, but anyway, let's get into the action class now. Let me save this. Let's go back to the logic now. Actions class. I will try to show you the quick outline of the action class. Select the action class. Right click, quick outline. When you do that, you will find the information as run method. I said when we try to call the run method in the driver script, run method, which has the information of reading the data from the Excel, the keyword and the arguments, and we invoke the method using this information. And once we invoke the method accordingly as per the keyword, the methods will be called. As I said, we have two methods which are having same name here. When you have three string statements, it is for driver.findElement by.id.sendKeys. When you have two statements, two arguments, it is driver.findElement by.id.click, because we don't require to pass the data in the case of clicking on the button. So drop down select also had given, but I have not used in the scenario right now. But if you are interested, you can even call drop down select in our keyword driven framework by adding this in the Excel. That is more or less like this. Why we are making this row as static? Because whenever the test case is pass or fail, we would like to write the status as pass or fail in a specific row, right? So we need the row number, and it is static, and also driver here it is static. Once we get the driver object from the run method as a parameter, we will try to set this driver object to this class, for this class as a global variable. This is a global variable we created, and we make this a static, and also we make the row as static. Why? The reason being, suppose for example, if you wanted to execute this statement, what is this statement does? This statement verify text. It will validate the text message which is displayed in the browser against the expected value, and it will try to write the status as either pass or fail here. So when you are writing the status as the pass or fail, we need to know the row number and the column number. Column number is fixed. Column number is 6, but the row number, it will vary. So that's the reason we create a row number which is static, and we will try to store the row number accordingly. That row we will try to write into this XLSX file. We'll get into the logic to get more idea about this. Now let's get into the third class, which is excelutils.java. In the case of excelutils.java, we will maintain the information about reading the data from the XLSX file. Means we have get cell data, where we pass int row number, comma column number, get number of rows or get row count. Why do we need to know the number of rows? Because we have to iterate each and every row from the Excel. It is important to get the number of rows. Columns is not required. The reason being, when you are trying to fix the columns in the Excel, you have 7 columns which are fixed. You don't write more than that. So getting columns doesn't require right now here. I'm not writing any method to get the number of columns now. And also we have write cell data. We have to write the cell data into a particular row number and a column number. We can put row number and into column number. to write the cell data into the Excel. And also we have set XLSX file. So to store the mainly the what is the XLSX file name, the sheet name. So all this information we can set in the set Excel file. That's it. Apart from that, we don't have anything. Get row count, write cell data, get cell data, and also set Excel file. That's it. You might be having one or two methods, but majorly these are the methods which I maintain in this Excel utils.java. So let's get into this class now to see the quick outline of this method now of this class. Let's get into Excel utils.java. Select Excel utils.java. Right click on the class name. Quick outline here. You can see set Excel file, get cell data, write cell data, get number of rows, and you have an Excel worksheet, Excel workbook, and also we have a cell, right? Because we need the workbook information. Then in the workbook we have a sheet, in the sheet we have a cell. So we are going to use all these three variables here and try to accordingly write the logic accordingly. You can see here private static, private static, private static, and also I made all these methods as static because we are calling this as a utility. You can call as Excel utils dot get cell data, Excel utils dot write cell data, Excel utils dot get number of rows. So this is the information about the classes in high level because we completed XLSX file. We completed going through the class names and the outline of the class names. See, the logic is available, but it is very difficult to understand the logic, right? So how are we going to make it very simple? So to understand this logic, I have put a breakpoint now. I'm going to put a breakpoint and I'll explain you step by step while we are executing this framework. See, I'm trying to put a framework, trying to put a breakpoint in the framework now. I just selected here. This is the breakpoint I put here in the driver script.java. Let me close others. We have only driver script which is available now. Now let me try to execute the testng.xml file which is invoking this driver script. I will try to do right click on the testng.xml file, debug as testng suite. Why we are debugging the framework right now? Because as I said, if you debug the framework by inserting a breakpoint, we can go step by step and understand this framework very well. Okay, let me select testng suite here. It will take some time to execute because it is creating a driver instance. It is trying to launch the browser as part of this class. See here, the Chrome driver was started successfully. You can look into the test. You can look into the invoke browser method. We can look into the invoke browser method. See, the browser has been launched, but the URL has not entered. The reason being, in the Excel, we maintained launch application here. Launch application, this will enter the URL as demo.openmrs.org. Let me close this XLSX file. We don't want right now. Let me say yes. And close this XLSX file. Then let's go back to the Eclipse. Now, as I put the breakpoint, it is asking us to change the perspective. Why? Because whenever we try to put a breakpoint, it always asks us to change the perspective to debug perspective. What is the advantage of debug perspective here? You can check the debug stack, runtime variable values, breakpoint management. You can do all these things in the debug perspective. Just say, so remember my decision. Going further, just click on S. Now let's understand the variables. Here in the debug perspective, you have three views here, variables, and we have breakpoints and expressions. Let's try to put this here also in the top so that we know the information which we are going to discuss. So our focus is mainly in this section. Our focus is in this section during debugging the script. Okay, please focus in the section of variables, breakpoints and expressions. Let's start now. Okay, so we are in the driver script now. In the bottom of this dialog box, you can see window, you can see this is a driver script now. Let's get into step by step. Let's get into step by step. 1 second. Okay, so now let me get into the script. Okay, we have two options, step into, step over. So we will use based upon the requirement either step into or step over. Step into, we will get into this in this line of statement to understand what this line of statement does. Okay, step into, I'm selecting step into here. So it has been navigated to the action class and we put the result as false. Okay. Now do step over, because going further in this method we have to go step over, because we don't need to understand what this line of statement does, because we are setting boolean result is equal to false. Step over, and we are trying to set a global variable as driver is equal to driver, because we are getting this driver as a parameter while calling this method from the driver script class. Step over. Now Excel utils dot set Excel file name. What is the Excel file name? The file name here is input data.xlsx. Sheet name is this. Result is false. You can check. This is the file name, we got it from the driver script. We call this method, this run method we call with the file name and the sheet name. So these three parameters we pass, and we are setting this Excel file with the sheet name and the file name by calling Excel utils is the class name and the static method name is set Excel file. Static method we are calling by passing two arguments. One argument is a file name and second argument is a sheet name. Let's move on further. Now let's go to the next row, step over. It is taking some time because it is trying to call this method. Do the file name and the sheet name, set this file name and the sheet name. Then it has gone to the next line of statement, which is line number 37, and we are going to call Excel utils dot get number of rows. Okay, let me go to the next step. The row count is 11 here. The row count is which is 11. So we get to know that there are totally 11 rows in this Excel. Now let's take the first row. Why we are taking the first row as row index as 1? As I said, in the Excel there is a header already available in the 0th index. Now we are considering row 1 and try to process each and every row. Let's start. Row is equal to 1. Row is equal to 1. See here, you can even find row is equal to 1 here. I'll put, if you want you can put row is equal to 1. Let me put, yeah, you can see here row is equal to 1. Let me remove this current row. This is not required. We have a row value is 1. I have added one expression. Row value is equal. You can even add any expression here, right? Row is equal to 1. The row is 1 now. So what are we going to do in this line of statement? First, we are creating an array list. Why are we creating array list here? Array list is useful to store multiple objects. So if you don't know the size of the array, then we have to go for array list. Here in the each and every row, we have multiple parameters. So in the each and every row of the Excel, we have multiple parameters. We don't know exactly how many parameters are available. So that's the reason we have taken array list into consideration to store the parameters which are part of the Excel. Okay. Now let's get into the next row. Excel utils dot get cell data row comma 2. The column is 2, the row is 1. 1 comma 2. Let's see, 1 comma 2. When you try to pass get cell data row of 1, column of 2, you can even find the row information. When I place a mouse over, the value of row is 1. 1 comma 2. What is the method name we get? Let's see. The method name we get as launch application here. The method name we get here is launch application. So this line of statement will try to fetch the launch application. Then we have columns. Why the columns are starting from column number 3? As I said, in the columns we are mainly interested in the arguments. We know the method name. We need to focus on the different arguments, different parameters which are part of this row. So we start from the column 3 and we move on. So in the Excel, if you look into column 3 means 0, 1, 2, 3. So the information from column 3, 4, 5. See, we are taking this information, right? 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Totally 3 columns we are taking into consideration when we are storing this information in an array list. Right? And we are putting 7, but it's okay. 7 means 6. We take into result into consideration, but we are not storing any information here. Right? We are taking the column as 3 and the column less than 7. And we try to get the row comma column. Let's see the row comma column. In our case, the row comma column. The row is first row. The column is this one. It means it's a null value. It will not store this null value. Look into this logic now. If Excel utils.getCellData is not empty or not equal to null, only it will go inside. It will not go inside. Now again, Excel utils.getCellData, you can even do one more thing also. Excel utils.getCellData, you can copy this information, right click here, say watch, you can select watch here, it will show in the expressions. See now Excel utils.getCellData, we are getting the URL of the browser, the URL of the application now. See now step over, yes, it will go inside. We are adding this to the array list. What is my param list? My param list is an array list. We created an array list by storing all the parameters here. Now add it. Same thing we are trying to do, null, and trying to do for all the columns. Then once we get the number of parameters we store in an array list, then one more important thing we need to understand here is the parameters we are going to convert into object parameters, because while invoking the method, this method is implemented using reflection API. Right now this method will take 3 parameters. Very importantly, we have to understand about this method is, let me write it down about this method. So what this method takes the information. This method takes totally 3 arguments. First argument is mainly the package name dot class name, and the argument 2 you have to pass the method name, and the argument 3 we have to pass parameter array. But this is an array of objects. So all these 3 values, these 3 arguments if you pass, then automatically in this class, in this method will be triggered with these parameters. So this is very easy also. What we are trying to do in this class, invoke this method with these arguments, and this is a reusable method. We are not trying to write it down for every keyword. We are just writing one line of statement. This line of statement will invoke the method in this class based upon the keyword we read from the XLSX and with these arguments. So it's very easy to implement as part of the framework. It will definitely minimize your lines of code. If you are putting if else conditional statement, if condition then else, definitely you will be having minimum of 30-40 lines. But if you write this line of statement, we are minimizing 30-40 lines of logic in our framework. And also even if you put switch and you put here case, you have to put different cases for different keywords. Suppose for example for launch application you will be having a different case totally, right? So all these things will be ignored, and we implemented a reflection API in this framework. So this will be very helpful for you to invoke the methods based upon the keyword and the arguments and also the class file name. Now let's invoke this method. Let's get into this method now. Step into. So this method, what it does is, this method mainly, let's get into further. This method will take all the arguments and consider them as all the arguments as a string. Consider them as a string. Okay, just take everything as a string. Now we are going to create an instance of the class. Which class we are going to create? What is this class name? Just observe what is the class name. The class name is, this we pass as an argument, right? The class name we pass as an argument, right? The class name is package name dot class name. For this class name, we are going to create an instance. Why are we going to create an instance? The reason being, if you want to invoke a method, we have to create an instance. Okay, and also we call this method. We store this information in my method, then we invoke that method by passing the instance. We invoke that method. The my method is the method name. We invoke the method by passing the instance and the number of arguments we are going to pass while invoking the method. Let me step over and just try to execute this my method dot invoke. See what happens now. Just wait for a few seconds. Open the browser. It enters the URL as demo.openmrs.org. Right, the first step is completed successfully. This will happen for all the rows and try to execute step by step. Let's go to the run method. So this run method will keep on execute because all the rows will be executed in the for loop, and this invocation of the method will execute every time. So let's try to see for the next row. What is the next row here? The next row is here. This one, enter username, find element, ID, username, admin123. Let's do one thing. Let's step over. So get all the parameters again. What is the method name? Just see here. The method name is, you can check in the variables. The method name is here, find element, you can check here. Then next, the Excel utils dot get cell data row comma column is empty. Just check this. What are you getting? You are getting ID. Check in this. This is what we are getting now. This is the highlighted value. This is what we are getting. Then afterwards we'll get username, then admin123. Check now. We're getting each and every column value now and trying to add it to the array list. Check. Then we are going to get username. You can focus here. Username. Then we are going to get admin123. The parameters are completed. Then we add all the parameters to the array list and we invoke the method. See, we invoke the method. See now what happens. It enters the value as username admin123. The same logic will be executed for each and every row. There is no change. See here, it is invoking the password. It gets cell that it's already available. Now it will try to enter the password here. Now it selects the inpatient ward. You can see the method name. Every time if you focus on the method name, then we know what's the method name. See here, find element, and also this is done and try to execute, and even you can check this. This is entering the password also. Let's enter the password now. Let me execute step by step. Now find element. Now it's going step by step. Let's see what happens now here. See, it is able to successfully log in. The first scenario is completed. Second scenario also completed. Finally, it will write the data into the. So like this entire each and every row will be called, and associated method will be invoked automatically. Here the find element and also column number is 6. You can see all this information is getting called, and you can even check. So the Excel utils.get data here. You have ID, the ID value, login button. It is clicking on the login button now. So like that it will execute step by step and continue further. We can even see, let's continue further. So currently it is clicked on the login button and we have invalid username and password. It is successfully validated, and the data will be passed, either pass or file, to the Excel sheet. Okay. Now, So let's execute. What is the method name here again? The method name is verify text. It is validating the text now. And also we can see the column number is 4. It is reading each and every column. And finally it will validate the text and try to mark the test case as pass or fail. See, expected is equal to actual. We are validating the text, and finally the text is validated successfully, and the status will be shown in the Excel as pass or fail, depends upon the result. So like this it will continue further and execute all the steps in this Excel and try to give the result as pass or fail. We can even check the test case is successfully executed now here, and you can see the result. The test case, the validate login is successful. And one more thing, let's open the Excel now. Let's open the Excel. Okay, if you look into this, we have a pass here, we have a pass statement here. The test case is pass. This is pass, this is pass. So this entire logic, reading each and every row and invoking a method based upon the keyword and the number of arguments is implemented using reflection API. So this logic will be uploaded in our blog as well. In the blog, this entire information about the classes, the classes driver script, action class.java, excel utils.java, testng.xml, pom.xml, and also the link to the XLSX file, all this information will be stored, will be uploaded into totalqa.com blog. You can refer to this, download the code, try to implement as part of the framework and use it in your project. And when you are trying to attend the interviews, you can try to explain in high level about these 3 classes and talk about each and every class, which will help you to clear the interviews in keyword driven framework also. And also the advantages and disadvantages are explained in the blog here. What are the advantages of the keyword driven framework? The keyword and functional libraries are completely generic. Yes, we have written all generic methods, and all the complexity is in the functional libraries. Yes. Once the libraries are ready, it is very easy to add these methods. The disadvantages, the lot of time and effort needs to spend initially to create the functional libraries. That's right, because it will take a lot of time to create these 3 classes. At least it will take 2-3 days of time to develop these functional libraries. Then on top of it, you can develop the actual functions to invoke the logic. The benefits of the keyword driven framework are realized only after it has been used for a longer periods of time. Means you have to use especially for at least for 100 test cases or 50 test cases, then you get the advantage out of it. Very high programming skills are required to create the complex keyword driven framework. Mainly, see, complexity means depends upon the framework we write, but right now we are using reflection API. You can use this framework, copy exactly the same thing in your framework and try to write down the methods. You can also easily do it. But one important thing what we have to understand is, to understand any logic, we have to put a breakpoint, understand step by step thoroughly, then it's easy to understand and get the grip of any of the logic is available online. So I hope this framework is helpful for you in real time to implement. And if you like my video, please subscribe and share. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe.